Hey guys, Shane here, Aus Flight Simmer. Welcome to the first episode of Test Drive for 2019. Now, if you haven't seen one of these before, this is where we take a scenery, aircraft, or utility in different types of flight sims, and we'll take it for a spin around the block, and I will give you my first impressions. In today's video, we are checking out the new release from Vertx Sims, which is the Diamond DA62 for Prepared. This will be the second DA62 that has been released for Prepared in a matter of months, the other one being Coronado, so it'll be interesting to see how this one will stack up. If you're not familiar with the DA62, it is a twin-engine light aircraft, a 7-seater. It's made by Diamond Aircraft Industries over in Austria. The first flight was of the 3rd of April 2012 and went into production in 2015. They're still making this aircraft as presents, and there's quite a few getting around the world. So with that being said, like we do on all test drive videos, we'll take a closer look of the modelling and the texture work of the exterior of the aircraft. Straight away you can see the high quality of work that has gone into the exterior when it comes to the 3D modelling and also the textures of the DA62. It is of the highest quality. The aircraft comes with a bunch of liveries. We are using the Australian version of the livery today, but also you've got some liveries from the States and also over Europe. Being that the DA62 is a new aircraft and is made of many different composite material, I really think the guys have gone the shine correctly when it comes to the shimmer on the aircraft. The 62 comes with the normal allotment of animations, but also some advanced ones, such as wing flex, doors that react to airspeed and altitude changes, and volumetric propellers that smoothly transition between high and low RPMs, which you don't see that very often these days in GA aircraft. Being that the 62 is such a new aircraft, you really won't see any of that wear and tear stuff that you see with the normal releases on Prepar3D for GA aircraft. But within saying that, they have also modelled where you can see some oil stainage and some mud, and they've included that in the texture work of the 62. The Diamond was a breeze to install and also comes with this configuration manager for the aircraft that sits outside of the sim that has many different options such as avionics, realism, graphics, animations, sounds, and also payload. You can configure it until your heart's content. So this aircraft is persistence, but I'm a little bit lazy with my switches, so I'll get it to start at a cold and dark state each and every time. But there is many different options and you can customize to what suits you. Now it's time to jump into the cockpit of the 62 so we can check out the sounds and also the startup procedure, which is pretty simple stuff. I would have to say straight off the bat the sounds on this aircraft are really high quality. They're all individual and you won't come across any two sounds the same. All the interior sounds are controlled by a custom code exclusive to the Vertx themselves. The engine sounds and also the propeller sounds will change to the different RPMs and also the different pitch of the prop angle of the blade too. The wind sounds of the aircraft will react to different positions if the aircraft is dirty, such as the gears are down. The only complaint that I actually have for this aircraft when it comes to sounds is if you're running two screens and you click on your second screen when you're sitting in the cockpit, the sound will disappear. Hopefully they will fix that soon. So we're going to jump in and start the engine, so I'll be quiet so you can listen to the sounds of the startup. So I'm going to finish the rest of the aircraft startup and configuration and get the flight plan going, and then we'll begin to taxi. We are ready to begin our short taxi. On this particular flight, I really couldn't put a flight plan in because one of the particular Orbx airports where we are flying to wasn't in the G1000. But within saying that, this G1000 would have to be one of the best ones I've come across in Prepared. It is really smooth and really clear to see. You don't need to zoom in to actually read the screens. There is so much detail when it comes to these G1000s. I don't think I'll ever learn all the options. So we're going to quickly stop here. As I said, it's a short taxi. We're going to configure the aircraft for takeoff. The 62 is a really stable to taxi. It doesn't get away from you at all. The hardware I'm using today are the Virtual Fly Rudder pedals, and I'm using a Cytec throttle. I do say with the Cytec throttle you need to give it about 30% of throttle before the aircraft will start to move, and I haven't really come across every aircraft, so that might be unique to the 62. But we're going to take a left here and taxi all the way down the runway. The 62's turn radius is quite good, which makes it really handy because it does have quite lengthy wings on them, so when you're in little GA aircraft airports such as this, makes it quite handy that this thing turns on a dime. So we're going to line up on the runway here and then configure the aircraft and we'll begin our takeoff. So altitude of this airport's over 5,000 feet, so it should make it quite interesting takeoff. So I'm going to be quiet now. I'll come back to you as we've got wheels up, so please enjoy the takeoff. The landing gear is retractors. As you can see, the animations are quite smooth. Because we are flying a VFR flight today, we're going to make a right hand turn here shortly and try to avoid these clouds as we climb up all the way up to about 11,000 feet. We'll have to turn on the oxygen on the aircraft. The aircraft does simulate oxidation, and you need to make sure that you've got your air turned on. So within saying that, we're going to continue to climb, and we're going to throw to a montage in the meantime. I'll talk to you soon. Welcome back. Now it's time to take a bit of a first look at the cockpit, and the first thing you're going to come across is the two big screens that are in front of you, which is the G1000s, and I must say they're probably one of the best G1000s I've come across in Prepared. They are very easy to read. They're super crisp and clear, so when you're sitting back you can read the screens without zooming in, and they've got absolutely everything being programmed into it, from management of the engine systems to doing a flight plan. It all is very easy to use, and they are super frame rate friendly. I've flown some other things in Flight Simulator, but when it comes to G1000s, it turns your flight simming experience into a slideshow. As you can see, the level of detail is very high when it comes to the quality of the inside of the cockpit. Pretty much all the buttons work, and they are using big touch spots, which makes it, that's a bonus. The only things I can't find that's actually modelled and working would be the circuit breakers. Other than that, everything everything else is pretty much model. There are many different types of textures that have been included in this aircraft, because obviously inside the cabin has a lot of materials, but it's really good to see that they haven't been baked on. They've been really worked on, and it is to the highest quality. As we zoom in the back, you can see that the aircraft has some moving animations such as the glove box there or the armrest. Now we move into the night. I'll switch the floodlights on, and you can see that the lighting, a lot of effort's been put into that of the shines, and everything in the cockpit is very visible, and you would find flying at night time no issue at all. The night lighting on the panel works quite well, and it is very easy to see. So this aircraft, you're not just stuck in flying during the day, it will fly at night, and you'll be quite comfortable navigating around the cockpit. So we're going to continue along our flight today. We're going to throw into a montage, and I'll come back to you as we're lining up on our approach into our destination. Welcome back to the cockpit. We are just about to put the wheels down as we are heading into approach into our destination. One thing I will say is that the DA62 is a real treat to hand fly. You could hand fly this your whole flight and not use the autopilot if you didn't want to. It trims up really, really nice. So I'm going to leave you now. Please enjoy the approach into our destination, and I'll come back to you just after the wheels hit the ground.
500.
There we go. That was a very rewarding landing. So why don't we take a quick look at the replay, and then I'll come back to you with my final thoughts of the Vertx DA62 for repair. My final thoughts for the Vertx DA62. Is it value for money? Well, you can go and pick it up over at the Vertx website for $39.95 USD, and I would have to say it is the best DA62 when it comes to prepared. It is leaps and bounds in front of the Coronado product that was released earlier this year. If you're not into steam gauges, I think you'd still get a lot of fun out of this aircraft. It looks good, it feels good, it's great to hand fly, and the G1000s are easy to handle. There will certainly be a lot to keep you occupied, especially with all the settings that come with the DA62. There's only a couple of issues that I had with the sounds, is when you click out into a second screen, the sound in the cockpit disappears and the circuit breakers don't seem to be modeled well. I couldn't get them to work anyway. Other than that, it is a really top-notch aircraft. Now I'm going to go and find a place to park. If you enjoyed the video, I'll leave another one of my favorites up here. Please go and watch that. And if you like this one, please hit the like button and also subscribe for more weekly content. This is the first test drive video of 2019, and there's going to be more content coming your way. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers, goodbye.